the club up. So my leg action is pretty tight and it starts off tight. My upper body is nice and relaxed. Okay, my upper body is relaxed, my shoulders are nice and relaxed. My grip itself, I'm actually tighter over here. And it goes looser, 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 looser towards the club head. Okay, so if you look at it from this angle here, I'm tighter in that finger and I'm going quite loose. And remember, I already said the grip's quite relaxed. Okay, so my grip's nice and relaxed, my upper body's relaxed. So where's the resistance again? It's in my legs. I'll start off with pressure in my legs. You picture that spoke in the wheel, you're going to have a good swing. Okay, so my legs are quite tight. Why is that? I've got to keep my spine in the correct position. I've got to keep my lower back from moving too much. Okay, I don't want my lower back doing that. I want to be able to turn nicely. My upper body is very relaxed. Okay, my hands are nice and relaxed. My upper body is relaxed. Okay, it's a bit of wrist action, a little bit of shoulder turn. You get to a point around here and your hips start turning. Okay, one thing's for sure, if you got the resistance right, the correct things will start. If you've got no resistance in your legs, you're going to start it off with your hips over here. If you think of it in a sequence, what starts the swing, first the club, then my hands, then my arms, then my shoulders, then my torso turns a little bit, then my hips, might be a little bit of footwork, okay? But what you want to do is have your lower body resist the swing quite a little bit. So we go through the takeaway again. A little bit of wrist action. Okay, remember that spoke in the wheel. So you've got the spoke in the wheel, that's the top. Next to goes my hands, next to goes my arms, shoulders. Get to a point, my hips start turning. The weight feels like it's in the right foot. Okay, from here, come down. It's basically the reverse sequence, but remember the club head has to swing. Okay, so what I'm doing, my first movement back might be a little bit of weight. What I feel the first movement down is, and again this is preference, I feel my shoulder breaks away from my chin. Okay, that's the most important point to start the downswing. You reach the top of your backswing where everything stops for a split second, and the first thing to move down I feel is that. Okay, I'm basically peeling my shoulder away. I'm peeling my shoulder away like that from my chin. A lot of people I see, they don't do that. They start off with a big weight transfer. Their head stays, okay, their head stays attached to their shoulder somehow. And then what happens? You lose your posture. Everything spins out of the shot. Okay, so the first move down, shoulder away. I'm going to hit a shot for you now. We go through the whole sequence. Get my distance, my position, get the right foot back, posture. You can see when I grip the club, my hands are facing each other. See 2.5 knuckles over here. Here's the swing. My swing was nice and relaxed, so I got to a follow through that looked pretty easy. I didn't fall over, I didn't hit it unnaturally, everything stayed quite relaxed in my swing. Remember, your shoulders must be relaxed, your arms must be relaxed, your lower body quite tight. Okay, it's a springy feeling you've got in your legs, and it's a small movement. If I go through the difference between the lower body and upper body now, the upper body is a full turn, like that and like that. My lower body is half a turn. Okay, my lower body only moves like that. Although at the end of the swing, I finish with my hips facing the target. At the end of the swing, my follow through position, my hips, my belt buckle faces the target, my body faces the target, my whole torso, my shoulders face the target. The club is over my left shoulder. Okay, you'll notice one thing, in that position over there, I've maintained my posture. Okay, that initial spine angle, let's get technical and call it 134 degrees. I've maintained it through the swing. So the angle between my thigh bone and my spine, It's 134 degrees, and I've kept it through the swing. I haven't got to a point where everything's come up along the way. I haven't forced the swing a whole lot. I've tried to keep it nice and relaxed in my upper body. Okay, so your golf swing should feel like that. Okay, the club's got to swing. That's why they call it a swing. See, a lot of people try and hit the ball too hard. It's a big fault. Again, coming into the ball. So from the top of my backswing now. Okay, from the top of my backswing, my first movement down, I come through like that. You'll notice in that position, there's a little angle between my left arm and the club. It looks like about 90 degrees. Okay, without tightening up or anything. If we can just try and keep that angle through the shot and keep our hands nice and relaxed, the club will release pretty naturally. Okay, so from here I'm basically keeping that angle in. I'm leading the back of the club towards the ball. If my hands are nice and relaxed, the club will release. Okay, so the club will turn over. If I go and rush the club head down, like that, that's exactly what happens in the swing. My hands get too fast coming into the shot. You can see my left arm's still over here. It hasn't come through. I don't want to force the downswing. You start it nice and relaxed, get a good flow going. Try to lead the back of the club into the ball. You're going to hit it nicely. So most good players waggle the club. Waggling the club gets all the tension out of your upper body. Okay, you want to release that tension in your upper body. You want to keep your upper body relaxed. At the same time, I may be just shifting around my feet like that to get a bit of resistance in my lower body. Don't want my lower body moving around a lot. All right, a few of the mistakes that I see in golfers, they tend to transfer their weight too much. They drive too much with the lower body. The main job for the lower body is to keep your spine quite still. Okay, in other words, you want to pivot around your spine. You don't want a moving pivot point. Okay, if I had to give you an example in other sports, you get a guy who plays snooker. Okay, you pivot off your elbow, so your elbow's got to stay nice and still. Okay, so your elbow's got to keep its position. Now, if I'm trying to turn around my spine and I'm getting a whole lot of weight transfer going like that, I'm moving my pivot point. Okay, I see a lot of, not just average golfers, I see a lot of good golfers doing that. Okay, if you're going to go and move your pivot point like that, you're bringing the swing a little too far forward, so your club head's going to be coming in very steep. Okay, also if you get a lot of upper body movement into the shot, so if I'm moving my head around a whole lot, you're getting the club in very steep. Okay, if you keep nice and relaxed and just turn from the top, get maybe an inch of weight transfer into it. Not too much weight transfer, just enough that you finish on your left leg. Okay, so we don't want to get a whole lot of weight transfer, we just want to get an inch of weight transfer. Just that your body finishes over your left. You don't want to be falling off balance in the shot. I'll just show you how I hit the shot, and you can see how much weight transfer there is. You can see how I finished. Still on the same angle. Okay, I'm on this angle over here. If I go and throw my weight into it, everything lifts up on the shot. Okay, the swing's a circle. Your weight is going to move in a bit of a circle. Don't let it go to the outsides of the feet, because that promotes lateral movement. Okay, you want to turn like this. If you've got the weight going onto the outsides of your feet, you're going to get a lot of bad shots, a lot of inconsistencies. You'll notice all that lateral movement gets the swing moving laterally instead of turning. The swing itself again, whatever you do going back, you've got to do coming through. your positioning over here with any club in the bag is about 3 fingers off a straight knee. Okay, off a straight left knee. So 3 fingers off the top of a straight knee. Okay, so that position stays the same. The difference comes in with what we call ball position. Okay, every shot that you play with your irons is about a shoe width inside of your left foot. Okay, so all the iron shots are about that much back of your left foot. Okay, the width of your shoe back. So my iron shots are basically lined up over here. Okay, and they're all in the same spot. The thing that changes with the clubs, the shorter iron, like this one here. Okay, we get all the rest of the clubs out the way. A shorter iron is a narrower stance. If we go to a longer iron, okay, like the number 7 over here, the right foot goes back a little further. Okay, with the iron, it was inside of the foot by about the width of your shoe. Okay, so it was that much inside of your left foot. With the driver, it's opposite your left heel. Also, my weight's not 50-50 anymore. I get a little bit of weight on my right side. Okay, so the weight's more on my right foot. So I've got 60% on this foot and I've got 40% on this foot. Okay, the reason for that, and the reason we got 60% in this foot and 40% in this foot is that the driver, you catch on the upswing a little bit. Okay, so you're hitting up at the ball because it's teed up about that high. All right, even if it's on the ground, try to keep that same position. You've got to catch a driver on the upswing. The other different thing with a driver, the sweet spot normally sits a little bit higher. If you catch a driver low in the face, the ball's not going to go anywhere. If you catch a little bit higher up off center, the ball tends to go a little bit further. Okay, and also over here you'll get it airborne. In the bottom of the club, you won't get it airborne. I'm going to show you how to tee up the ball correctly for the driver height, because the center of gravity sits higher in the club. Now that's all technical, it just means the sweet spot sits a little bit higher. Correct tee up height for a driver. So lift the tee high enough that the middle of the ball sits in line with the top of the club. Okay, so the middle of the ball sits in line with the top of the club. You don't want it sitting like that below the club face. If you hit it too low in the club face, the ball's got to come out very low and not go as far. With the driver, you've got to let the club do the work. If you're going to go and swing all fast and get all out of position, move your lower body too fast, get your hips going too quickly, transfer your weight too fast, you're moving your pivot point again. Remember, if you move your pivot point, you're not going to hit it out the sweet spot. The most important thing in hitting long, you've got to connect it out the center. You can't hit it far if you're not hitting out the center of the club. You've got to maintain posture, okay? Very definitely when I hit a golf ball, I focus on staying in position when I hit the driver. Okay, also you don't want to hit it far and be all over the golf course. They call them army shots when you're going left and right the whole day. You want to stay down the middle of the fairway. The course plays shorter if you play it straight. You're going to take the sides of the course and the bushes into play by trying to force the shot. You're going to end up with a mighty big score. Okay, so what you want to do when you hit your driver, maintain your posture. Don't rush the shot. Like any other shot, don't try and get there too quick. Don't tighten up in the shot. Stay loose, maintain posture. Very important with the driver. Don't try and hit the thing too hard. One other thing with driver, when you want to hit it long, you've got to be in the correct position at impact. If you're going to hit it hard, you make the shaft kick differently. Okay, and this is very important. It's got to look like that in the air. After impact, the shaft has to be going the other way, like that. So your golf club actually kicks through the ball. The shaft kicks. If I get quick with my hands over here, or I try too hard, I'm going to kick it early. timing your driver is the most important thing in getting a long shot. You want to hit your driver long, you've got to have very good timing. Timing means don't rush it. The club's got to kick in the right spot. Very definitely when I hit a driver, I finish on balance and relaxed.